because I wanted to bring up the opening anyway. Yeah, obviously Nike's the opening will be at the Star in Dallas this year. First year it's ever not been at the Nike World Headquarters up in Oregon, and
Right.
what a freaking spectacle that's going to be at that facility through the weekend. 7-on-7 finals are going to be Saturday and Sunday night, and everybody who's anybody in terms of football prospect is going to be there, including Theo, and as you mentioned, Dax Hill.
Also, Jaden Hazelwood, who
Yeah,
kind of has young brain, but is a Georgia hard
Georgia guy,
commit,
sure, yep.
right? Dax is the most highly touted safety prospect, right? Outside, I mean, I say he's the best Oklahoma player to come out of my area in a very, very long time. I mean, he's up there with GT McCoy, who plays Tampa Bay right now. He's
Yep.
anchored their defensive line.
Yep.
Never seen a more natural football player, just the way that he moves. But you also talk about Noah Kane at running back, who's going to be at this thing.
Yep.
You know, you talk about Spencer Rattler, who's the OU quarterback, but also Bo Nix, the guy at Auburn, who many people believe can compete with Spencer for that number one ranking as a quarterback. And the thing that I think that recruiting nuts will want to know is the opening finals, right, are kind of counter to the 5-star challenge that Rivals puts on that's exclusive to Rivals. The opening kind of opens up to media members of most stripes, anybody that mostly wants to cover it.
Right,
And
that's
I'm
how we got
excited to
in.
go. Colby got me a credential, so I'm going, and I'm excited to
Yeah.
go. But
Yeah.
the thing is, if you want to know where the stars come from, like when you see stars next to these kids' name, that means so much to the fans who watch them play, that means so much to the kids themselves. This is where they earn those.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Dax Hill went from a 4-star recruit to a 5-star recruit because he was dominant at the opening in Dallas.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So if this is why these things matter.
Yep.
Right? And we're talking about how there's no 5-star in the 2019 class quarterback. Well, man, Spencer Rattler, all he's been doing is destroying the competition. So if he wins this thing and then he wins the Elite 11, it's going to be hard for any recruiting service, whether it be ESPN, Rivals, or 24/7, to be like, can we really not make this kid a 5-star? Later in the year, perhaps.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm really excited about, because there's things on the line here, right? It's not just the showcase. It's not just because media members want a chance to go to the meat market and see the kids play. Number one, these are the best high school football players in the country, and they're all in one room, basically.
Yeah.
And number two, they are competing to show that they are better than the person in front of them.
Absolutely.
So the competition ought to be fierce, and I'm excited about that.
Dude, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Theo and Lake Travis wideout Garrett Wilson. Theo's number one on Rivals. Garrett's number one on 24/7. Who's right? You know, I can't wait to watch those two next to each other. I'm looking forward to watching either of them match up with guys like Derek Stingley, who recently committed to LSU, or Akeem Dent, the Florida State commit. I love Grayson's Owen Papo. Got to watch him at the Battle on the Border last year, but I can't wait to watch him at a combine type of event. For a while, I thought he might end up being one of the highest rated linebackers of all time. He's still going to be a top 10 player in his class. And I'll tell you, with Owen, a guy he really reminds me of is Jabril Peppers, which may seem like a weird comp. Jabril being primarily someone you think of as a safety and a punt returner, etc. But Jabril obviously played in the box for Michigan at times. And the way they move, the way they're built, the way they look in pads, it's like striking, the resemblance between Owen and Jabril Peppers. And I'll tell you one other guy, and then we can get off this because I know we're running low on time. But one other guy who most people aren't already talking about, but absolutely will be when we leave Dallas, is a kid named Mikael Sherman out of St. John's College in D.C.
All right.
Last year, we were at St. John's College, St. John Bosco, which was like obviously loaded with talent on the field. And
still is.
Yeah, and Mikael stood out. And I had no idea who he was when I got there because he was a sophomore. And so I had a buddy from the area that was out there with me watching the game, not a high school football aficionado. He had no idea, really. He was just eyeballing the kids. And he's like, yo, who's 23? And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like Googling it and trying to figure out, find a roster and figure out who he is. Sophomore at the time, had probably half a dozen offers at the time. Now he's the number 2 rated linebacker in the class. I think he's one of the best players in the class, period, regardless of position. And I think he's absolutely going to blow people's minds at the opening. They actually have him listed as a 19 prospect on the site. He's a 20 prospect, but he does look like a 19, so it's tough to fault them for that. I can't wait to watch him. Kid's a monster. Just jumps off the tape at you.